Hey, what's up, guys? It's Scarra here from theScore eSports here with Series MVP Huhi after a pretty dominant 3-1 series. Maybe looking a little bit close when they brought in their sub, but talk to me about that series. Did it go kind of the way you expected?
Yeah, it did went how we expected, but after the third game when they put like a sub, Jynth, that was unexpected. Like when we heard that, we were like, wait, Jynth isn't it like a mid laner? Like we had no information on how he plays, like who he is. So we were pretty confused. So the third game, like we kind of became like a little bit, can I say like cocky?
Yep.
We became a little bit cocky, like especially like our bottom lane. Like Trevor was talking about, oh yeah, I know this guy in solo queue. He's pretty like bad. So I guess like we were too focused on winning lanes when we know that like we can like out rotate them. Like we are smarter than them, but like we gave up our advantage ourselves. So the game three became a little bit chaotic. So we tried to pick it up again in game four, and that's how we went.
I looked at the drafts and it looked like they kind of didn't expect that you picked Syndra. Why Syndra is so good right now? Because both you guys and C9 play a lot of Syndra.
Uh, Syndra is just good in lane, and that's why she's good. And she has like a CC, like a reliable CC. There isn't a lot of champion in mid lane right now that is meta that has like a hard CC. So Syndra is like one of them, and that's like why she's really strong. And the reason why C9 and us are playing is because I played in Scrims first, and then they started to play.
They copied it from me. Would you say that LeBlanc is a good pick into it then? Because I thought back to the old Syndra when they got played, and usually you could only play assassins into it, but I wasn't sure if it's just as good as it was before.
LeBlanc versus Syndra, like pre-6, it's a skill matchup. So like Syndra has to try to E the LeBlanc's W, and if she does, she wins. If she doesn't, she loses. It's that simple. But after level 6, it gets pretty one-sided. I'll say like 70% for Syndra. Like he has the heads up because like Syndra can whenever engage the fight by ulting him. So I just prefer to be on Syndra's side when I play that matchup.
I've noticed that CLG has really good macro play. In fact, that's like probably one of your biggest strengths throughout all the years I've known CLG. Going into this week, did you guys try to refine your macro play more, or were you looking to fix up other holes in your play?
I'll say honestly, like we didn't really try to like do anything because like the scrim was going pretty bad. Like we weren't playing how we were. Like everyone was just dying to like random ganks, random like solo kills and everything. So the scrims were actually really bad. But like yesterday or the day before, like we just had a big team meeting, talked about our problems, and then like magically solved it like in this series. So I just hope like this will continue for the next series too.
I think you are the only person in this entire year, outside of maybe one situation, that's ever told me that they played bad in scrims. Do you feel like playing well in scrims is like almost like a cocky thing to say, or do you think it's just like standard?
I mean, like honestly, like playing well or like bad in scrim doesn't really matter because like in LCS people say that we play different, but ideally it's always better to play same and in like scrims and LCS. So for me, like winning scrims, especially before like a really important match, gives me confidence because I think we are good. But when we're like keep losing like every scrim block before a really important match, like I don't really have like that much confidence on myself or on my team. But even though we lost a lot of scrims this week, we just like fixed it by talking about it. So.
Was it really hard for you guys to adapt to this new patch? I think statistically you guys lane swapped the most of any team in the LCS. I think the stats were said today. It was about 64%. And TSM is the team that's lane swaps the least at about like 36. And TL I think is maybe more toward the middle of the pack. So would you say that it like strongly kind of affected your guys' play?
Not really. Even though they changed the lane swap thing, there is still ways that you can lane swap. There is still ways that you can out rotate their enemies. And also we are like one of the team that is like like they have a misconception about us. Like Darshan loves to 1v1. Our bottom lane loves to 2v2. So for me, I don't really care if it's 1v1 or like 1v2. I usually prefer to lane swap because it secures mid 1v1. But yeah, we like there's no problem for us to take any 2v2s or 1v1s. So I don't think it really matters.
With those stats in mind, you guys are playing into TSM tomorrow, where you guys said you guys like a lot of heads-up matchups. How do you feel about playing in TSM next week? Sorry, not tomorrow.
Next week versus TSM. TSM so far like was a really strong like they look the best like so far. So like I suppose it will be harder than Team Liquid, but I think if we have like this kind of form like we showed up today, it well, like we still have a pretty good chance versus them.
Is there something you personally have kind of figured out throughout the season, something that really kind of latched onto, something that you've learned after playing this split?
Something I learned from like playing this split, I guess like to be greedy, I guess, because before like I was willing to like give up every resource I have. Like I was like losing my lane to help my teammates or etc. But nowadays like I know when like I am the carry. Like so I call for the help, I call for the wards. Like you guys have to ward for me, otherwise I cannot carry this game like etc. So I know how to play my lane aggressively, I guess. And that's why I learned this season.
Would you say that's a big reason why you got where your play has been looking so good recently?
Yeah, like the more greedy you are, the better you look. So obviously, like, yeah.
Do you have any kind of concerns or worries going into next week in Toronto? Are you even thinking about Worlds and Worlds chances right now? Are you focused on playoffs?
Um, yes, we want to go for the walls, but three-peat is one of our goal, and that is before walls. So right now we're only thinking about like three-peat. So we will like put 100% focus on like the TSM matches and the C9 or Immortals match.
Do you have anything to say to fans today after you kind of swept a game people thought was going to be kind of close?
I mean, I guess whenever we have this jersey, we pretty much do well. So we'll be wearing this jersey so you guys can keep up the face. And also, yeah, we're just doing our best to have the three-peat.
And where could a fan buy that jersey?
Oh, in CL Gaming. Wait, do you know? So, store.clgaming.net, I think.
This is Scar here from theScore eSports here with Huhi from CLG. You can find more content online and on our mobile app. Thank you guys. Hope you guys have a nice day.